And before it goes out and is given to the different warriors, it has been blessed by the spiritual leader of the tribes. So we follow that as a part of our practice in our system, that the ceremonial has to be rendered to the different fighters that is learning our Filipino Kali. In this, on this side here, these are the kind of blades that are used by the commoners. The commoners are sometimes the civilians uses it. This one is they go it for harvesting corns, and it's also used for cutting trees and cutting firewoods. It is heavy, but it is also very sharp. Now, normally those blades in the early days, they have this continuity of the handle up to the handle here, the steel. It's called the full tank. And this one, the weight of this is ideal for cutting, especially if they want to cut a cow for butchering, or for a kabar or carabao for butchering. This use the head. This is also the same as this blade here. This is for purposes of cutting trees and also used for butchering animals. It's not really ideal for fighting because it's heavy. It's heavy, so you can cut only once. Okay? But the cases where they use it, then it has been effective. If you have other blades to use, it's effective. This one of the good blades here because it has its own weight at the tip. So when you swing, it has its own impact, and it cuts through and through. This is just like one of the descriptions of the barong, which is used in Mindanao. This is just like the weight of this is just like the barong, except that the weight of the blade is right here on the close to the tip, which is used mainly in the Visayas and also in Luzon for fighting purposes, and also for using also for emergencies. And this one is a typical blade, which is used for cutting, especially in cutting bones, and also for execution, because you can be cut only once. But it is very deceiving because it does not look like a blade. It just looks like a flat piece of wood or piece of steel, but it is sharp, and it is covered by special rattan here, so that when you hold it, if you happen to hit the person and the blood spread all over, your hand will not be slippery because the blood will just be absorbed by this string that is wrapped all over the handle. And this is used for surprise attack. See, they can watch you right into the gumamila trees, and then they can hack you right there and then. And it is very strong. This is a one-shot blade. These are all very significant. This one is the baby Campilan. It looks almost the same, but this is also used as part of the commoner's blade. But it comes to combat, this is also used for fighting. But this is also used because the commoner, when they use it for bring this as their status symbol, then the blade becomes significant to their use for emergencies. There are so many ways this blade could be used and utilized for combat, but it has its own description in the olden times. Of course, we have back to the famous Campilan. The Campilan has its own history. Mostly of the datos carry this for identity and for purposes of identifying themselves as the datos. And there were blades that were longer than the normal blade, almost the same as the Campilan, but we don't have it here. But in the early days, it is signified that once the blade is long compared to the fighting blades, or longer than, they say this, the fighting blade, longer than this, like this campilan, it signifies the distinction of ranks between the tribes. It says that the longer is the blade, the lower is the rank, and the shorter the blade is the higher the rank. And you could still find this in the hinterlands, in Negros and also in Panay and some in Mindanao. Some people are carrying their long blades, and they use that, as a matter of fact, for anything that they do for harvesting, and also they use it also in case of emergencies. But there are two kinds of status symbol as far as the Filipinos are concerned. They carry the blade into their sides, of course with its coverts, and as it said that the longer is the blade, the lower is the rank, the shorter is the blade, the higher is the rank. And during combat situations, they could carry any kind of blades. But for status symbol purposes, they make the blade longer, and for those who are higher in rank, in terms of royalties, they carry the shorter blade. What I'm holding here is the most terrifying special blade that had killed a lot of our army people and also even the Marines and also the police. It's called the barong. The barong is the special blade of the insurgents in Mindanao. This is a very significant blade because first it is shorter, it's heavy, and it is maneuverable. So when you go to the close quarter, you'll be able to understand that the convenience of holding this barong can cut several people in a short period of time. The history of barong was used during the Spanish time against also the Americans, against also the Filipinos, and also against the Japanese when they went to Mindanao. But what is the good thing of this is that when you feel this, you have the feeling of confidence. Because, first of all, it is concealable. Concealable because it's, you know, you can just put it in your back like that, right, while you're talking, and then you just immediately open it up. So, this is the one that killed a lot of our army people and also the Marines in the Philippines because the elements of surprise. There was an incident that one of the Muslims was riding on the top of a jeep, and there was a checkpoint. And during the checkpoint, the guy was on top of the jeep. He just right away jumped into the security people there that is still manning the checkpoint, and then cut right into the head of the Marines. So the history of the barong is very treacherous, and it is very significant in terms of warfare. That's why when a lot of the army people and the Marines and also the police were cut by the barong, they have not considered what is the significance of this barong to the insurgents in Mindanao, the secessionist movement. Until such time, the 4th Recon Marines was trained in the use of the ginunting. You see the distance between this and this. The ginunting is longer, and it has also the impact of cutting. And the barong, although it is good as a medium-range weapon, but in terms of fighting technique, the ginunting is superior. So this is now the battle between the ginunting and the barong in our island in Mindanao, between the insurgents or the secessionist movement, which are called the MI left and the MNLF, and also the Abu Sayyaf or the Al-Qaedas. They use this mainly as their weapon. But when the Marines came out with the ginunting, and they knew that the ginunting has superiority, then they start to get out from the area of operation because they are afraid to get cut to this. Now, the ideology of fighting in the Philippines is when the blood is dripped to the ground,